Alrighty, gang. Welcome to Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday. Or maybe you're actually watching this on another day other than a Monday. That's okay. Or for those of you who are watching this on a Monday, welcome to Monday. Beginning of the week, it's like... Sorry about the focus thing on my phone. It keeps automatically focusing on other stuff. I'm gonna have to maybe use my other camera eventually on this. Oh well. It's Monday morning. Time to go back to work and all that kind of fun stuff, huh? So yeah, the rest of the week ahead of us, but guess what? I'm scratching my eyeball. Have no fear, because Matt's Monday morning movie madness. Did I just add another M to that? Oh, I think I added morning. Matt's Monday movie madness is here. So welcome back to it. But without further ado, I want to get right to today's movie. I'm really excited about today's movie because it's one of my favorites from the 80s. It stars one of my favorite 80s movie stars and has played a lot of roles lately in some Marvel universe. And I'm talking about the one and only Josh Brolin, who is playing, of course, the legendary Thanos in the Avengers movies that have just come out. And then he was also, what's his name, in Deadpool. I can't think of his name. I'm excited because it's one of his first movies. It's his first movie that he did after Goonies. I believe Goonies was first, and then he did this movie here. And it's absolutely a great 80s movie. If you've never seen this movie, it's definitely in line with like Rad, and like it's definitely a movie where the producers were like, let's take something the kids are doing and make a movie out of it. So they did that in the 80s a lot. They did that with like Rad. They did it with BMX bikes with Rad. They did it with like breakdancing with the movies Breakin' and Breakin' 2. And they did it with all kinds of stuff. Just whatever the kids were doing, let's make a movie out of it. And that's what they did. So, but without further ado, this week's movie, kind of in the same lines as Surfing, which was last week's. Of course, they did it with Surfing too. All my movies will not revolve around this, but I am trying to pick movies that are a bit more out there, out in left field, if you will. The movie of this week is Thrashin, or some have called it Skate Gang. You see? Skate Gang. I believe it came out in other countries named Skate Gang. Josh Brolin is the one and only Corey, who moves to LA to hang out, to try to make it as a skateboarder. He's doing some cool stuff out there in LA, falls in love with a girl who is like either the cousin or the sister of the rival gangs. It's the rival gang's younger sister, but he falls in love with her. It's got so much 80s nostalgia and cheese in it. Like, it's just great. It's brilliant. It's absolutely, it's just obnoxious in parts. It kind of is like a Romeo and Juliet kind of a feel to it, where it's like forbidden love. But the reason I like this movie so much is, well, one, because Josh Brolin is just cool, and I like Josh Brolin. He's an awesome guy. And because he's Thanos now, too. This is Thanos. That's weird. Look at that. Thanos was a skater dude. But the reason I also love this movie is because I was all about, like, the Bones Brigade back in the day. And this movie has some good cameos from people in the Bones Brigade. Actually, Tony Hawk was the stunt double for Josh Brolin in this movie. At least in some of the scenes he was. I don't think he was in all of them, but at least some of the scenes. Some of the competition scenes, I think, on the half pipe and stuff like that. The other like skaters that ran over, like Christian Hosoi and like Tony Hawk and like Steve Caballero. Christian Hosoi actually went to jail shortly after filming this movie, I think on drug-related charges, but he's since been let out. But that's neither here nor there. In a way, it's kind of North Shore, but on the streets of LA. So that's why I thought it was kind of apropos to go to this one next. It really was. Now that I think about that, I hadn't really thought about that yet. But and there's some really cool scenes too, where like the gang of skaters, and they're kind of like the Valley skaters, I guess. The like punk rock skaters and the Valley skaters get together and they have like a duel, and then on both sides of like this like street, and they're like got these like, I can't remember if they're flaming or like, but these like battering things where they're just like beating each other, like skating back and forth and like beating each other and stuff. It's like, dude, why couldn't movie producers in Hollywood and stuff in the 80s just let kids enjoy skating? Why did they have to like make them fight and stuff? And a really cool downhill skating scenes at the end, like really cool downhill skating scenes at the end. So definitely worth watching just for some of the stunts if you like watching 80s skating stuff, which I do. Robert Rustler is the guy who plays the villain, and he was in. He was actually one of Freddy Krueger's victims in I think the second Nightmare on Elm Street, but he was in some 80s movies. You'll recognize him. He's definitely done some 80s movies. And then Hook is the guy who is the main villain guy. He plays kind of the leader of the rival gang. His name is Hook. And there's this scene where he's just hanging out with his buddies, and he's doing a crazy like air guitar thing. Like they're just hanging out, and he's just doing this air guitar thing in his living room, and it's hysterical. It's the most ridiculous scene you'll ever watch in an 80s movie ever. The girl who plays Chrissy, and Pamela Gidley, I believe, played Chrissy, and she's since passed. I think she passed just recently, so rest in peace for her. Directed by David Winters. Actually, you gotta know about Thrashin. Well, let's read the back of it for you in my best voice here. Valley teen Corey Webster, Josh Brolin, just wants to ride his skateboard in peace. But when his hot romance with a beautiful blonde puts him on the skids with her brother and his vicious skate punk gang, the bitter rivalry can only be settled one way. A brutal winner-take-all downhill competition requiring guts, skill, and nerves of steel. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There's this great scene. The Red Hot Chili Peppers were just getting started, and if you want to see what the Red Hot Chili Peppers were like when they were like, I think they must have been like 18 or something like that. They were just on the scene. They were kind of this new, cool, crazy funk, punk rock band. You know, dude, we gotta get into this movie, man. And so the Red Hot Chili Peppers are in this movie, in a scene. They go to a club, the Chili Peppers are up on stage, and Anthony Kiedis and Flea, and it's just amazing to see those guys in their prime. I mean, those guys have been in their prime for like 40 years. What am I talking about? So for all those reasons and more, I give this movie 5 skateboards up now. You gotta go see Thrashin, dude. You gotta get this movie now. I'm sure you could rent it on YouTube or like probably rent it on Amazon Prime or something pretty cheap. You can pick it up off Amazon. That's what I did. It's pretty cheap. I can't remember. I've owned it now for a couple of years. And great movie, dude. Josh Brolin, man, you're still my hero, dude. Even though you were Thanos, man. Like, dude, you were Thanos, and like you're just being a jerk, man. You erase half the people on Earth like they were up in smoke, man. It was ridiculous. I guess that's all I got for this week's movie review, man. Thrashin'. So go check it out in your local Blockbuster video that doesn't exist anymore. Either way, it's a cool movie, dude. So definitely give her a check out, dude. One of the coolest things in the world. They're coming up with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 3 is in the works. 3. Excellent. So thanks for watching these episodes, guys. Matt's Monday Morning Movie Madness. Matt's Monday Movie Madness. And I will catch you guys next time, next week on Matt's Monday Morning Movie Madness. And hopefully, I'll be back tomorrow with a little daily vlog. Have a good Monday, guys. Don't worry, Tuesday's right around the corner. Then Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Friday. So, have a good day, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.